Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Kansas versus Yale college basketball matchup on Friday, December 22nd, 2023. Of course, we do tons of free picks every day at Pickdawgz, but if you're looking for our best bets, those are the ones you find under the Premium Picks tab. You can use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text the number that you see on the screen. These are not available on the website. You've got to text. But let's get to this one. Kansas taking on Yale, and Kansas ranked number 2 in the nation, but still, people still love to poke holes at the Jayhawks. I think there's not a lot of holes to poke, but I think what we've seen from them is they certainly are beatable and they're vulnerable, and we saw that loss to Marquette. We've also seen that these guys can stack it up against the best of the best on a nightly basis, and of course that's what they're going to have to do once Big 12 season starts, and that starts about the first week of January. So they got 2 more games outside of conference play before they start those conference games against the Big 12, which is even tougher than it was last year with the additions of Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, BYU. So the Jayhawks certainly, while Texas and Oklahoma are on their way out of the conference, well, at least as far as hoops goes, this conference is going to take a back seat to nobody. And, and we see Yale coming into this one 7-5 on the season. Yale has that reputation of being a giant killer and being able to hang with most of the good teams. We've seen them in the tournament many times throughout the years, being able to do that because they can shoot the threes. And I think this Yale team still shoots the threes, almost 35% from the floor. And that is, going to be their best shot to keep it close here against a Jayhawks team that is just super well-rounded and, of course, just a year removed from winning a national championship. When we look at Yale, they've won their last 2 games. One of them was an unlined game. The other one was against Quinnipiac as a 7-point win, but they were an 8.5-point favorite. Yale hasn't really had too many of these big-time step-up games. Generally, we're used to seeing Yale playing a lot bigger out-of-conference schedules than what we're seeing this year. And I can understand, why they wouldn't do that. A lot of it really has to do with these Ivy schools, has to do with scheduling, and there's no benefit of them playing a lot of these big schools out of conference, on these odd days and odd places, because academically it doesn't fit in with what Yale is trying to do. And then, athletically, it doesn't help their chances of making the tournament. They play in the Ivy League. It is a one-bid conference any way you slice it. When you look at Kansas, Indiana, Missouri, the win over UConn at home, the win over Tennessee, it's basically the who's who of college basketball, and I think it just will continue to be that. I think if this game was on a neutral site in March or something, I might feel a little differently about it. But in this one, I think Kansas absolutely thumps Yale. I'm going to take Kansas, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and it'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.